What's up, guys? How you doing? Cowboy Crunk coming to you from Kabul, Afghanistan. Your war daddy, rocking the freak jersey, baby. He's gonna go off this week. I know we're gonna do this. We're gonna take care of Atlanta, and we're gonna move forward and see where we're standing with Washington. Got a big game this week. From now on out, pretty much every game is a big game, unless we get into week 16 or week 15, and we've walked through the schedule and done our job and had a little bit of help with some losses, but I really don't see that happening. We still got the Saints ahead. After that, first we got Washington. That's another big game, but I wanted to go over some things that happened in this game, in particular, how if we do the same things, really I don't think anyone in the league can not say stop us, but we can compete with anyone if we do what we did this week. We did the same thing against Jacksonville. We just happened to use Gallup instead of Cooper. Cooper had 5 targets in the first quarter. That's a lot of targets. That was about 20% of our play calls were directly aimed at Cooper. And I've heard some guys, we're forcing the ball to Cooper. And that's fine, because that's what we need to do, because all of the defenses right now are expecting us to, and this was our problem prior to having Cooper. I think they didn't trust Gallup at the time. With the fact that the guy's young, the guy's a third-round rookie, and I think they just didn't trust to go to him, and that's a problem on the coach's part. But we've got Amari Cooper in here, and things have changed. They're forcing the ball to him, which is good, and if we're moving the ball at all with that situation, if we're threatening the defense, even if some of the passes are incomplete, like the deep ball that we had in the first quarter or early in the second quarter, I can't recall exactly when it was, but I believe it was the second quarter. That's going to force them to pull these guys out of the box, and that's what we need. Anytime you get one-dimensional as an offense, the defense can become one-dimensional, and then it's just a battle. Now, we would win those battles, but you get a holding penalty, you get a sack, you get anything that throws you off, and of course you're going to end up punting. So we've got to get these guys. We got to break the defensive box down by pushing the ball down the field a little bit, and we've got to start these games because everyone is going to load the box to start the game. That's just what they're going to do, and until we break some long runs, they're going to load the box. Well, the only way to defend that is come out the gate passing, and you make 3 or 4 passes in the first quarter at least. This game we had, like I said, 5 passes to Cooper, 1 to not Allen Hurns, 1 was to Gallup, 1 was to Hurns. That was in the second quarter, but we came out 5 targets to Cooper, really opened up the offense, and they said, hey, we can't just focus on Ezekiel Elliott, because if we do, we're going to get burned. So immediately they pull the guys out of the box. We start doing read options with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has to run a few of those. If he can run a few of those, we're fine. It doesn't matter the yards he gains. It doesn't matter if it works out to be an outstanding play or not. The thing is, it has to create a honesty in the defense. If he just hands it off to Zeke every time, of course they can just focus on Zeke. They don't have to worry about Dak. That play is set up. It's called a read option on purpose. It really takes one of your defenders out of the box if it's run properly. So that's my perception on the game this week. I think with Atlanta, we really have the opportunity to do some of the same things we did against Philly. I think we really have the opportunity because of the power of our line. It looks like it's been kind of reinstated. I think we have the ability to do this week to week. No matter what anyone does, we have a read option. We have a few screens that work well. We need to throw the ball deep a few times to Amari Cooper to keep the defense honest. And as long as we change those things around and our situational coaching can continue to exist like it did last week. I was really so proud of our coaches. Oh my goodness. At times I was. The fourth down call, the fake punt, also the fourth down call, the option play. It wasn't just something normal and up the middle. Really, I think they pretty much had no way of stopping that. If Dak Prescott can come to the line and read that play before the snap, and if it looks like they've got the right side of the defense loaded up, he can switch Zeke to the left side and they can run it to the left side. It is a little harder to run an option to the left, and that's why you usually see right-hand quarterbacks run it to the right. But you can switch. All you got to do is, hey, Zeke, slide this way, check down, and run it to the other side. Luckily, Swain and Cooper, I think, were out there to make the blocks they had to make, and Ezekiel Elliott got the yards he needed. And then later we had the fourth down fake punt, which also worked. So situational coaching is what we needed. The only time I was not impressed with our situational coaching was the last drive of the game. We really just, I don't understand why, when we're moving the ball like we were moving the ball, why we would just all of a sudden say, hey, let's just get our defense out there and run 3 ridiculous plays just to keep the clock running, or make them use their timeouts, which I do understand that. But I don't see why you can't run a pass play that you stay between the lines, really something safe. A play action, which is really working well. Our play action, our read options, our read pass options, and throwing the ball deep. If we can do those 4 things and mix it up, we're gonna have a good game against Atlanta. So those are things we need to look into. Other than that, on the defensive side of the ball, I think we have the ability to shut down their run game. I think we're also, on the offensive side, we will run the ball well if they come out loading the box. We just got to get Amari Cooper involved to make that stop and make them go honest. I don't think they'll be able to run the ball against our defense very well. They're not running the ball very well this year. They're going to try to attack our secondary with Matt Ryan and the amazing staff of receivers they have. I really have confidence in our receivers, but we've got to keep them in front of us, and we got to make tackles. And Matt Ryan is a very accurate quarterback, and he will, in complete 100% blanket coverage, he will throw a guy open, and you cannot defend a perfect throw. The only thing you can do is be in front of it. So our defense is going to have to be aggressive, stay in front of these receivers, not give them a cushion and just let them take these 6-7 yards, because that's what you do with an inaccurate quarterback. You give them a small cushion, you keep the receiver in front of you, you hope the quarterback makes a bad throw, and you reach in to knock the ball down, or you reach in for try to get an interception. But if you keep the guy in front of you, sooner or later what you hope for is the quarterback to make an errant throw. Matt Ryan doesn't make very many of those. So if we just continue to give that cushion, let the receiver stay in front of us, Julio Jones and these guys are going to have a field day. They're going to run 10 yards, turn around, make a catch. They're going to run 10 yards, turn around, make a catch. Sooner or later, we're going to miss a tackle, and then we're going to be forced for our safety to make a tackle, and that's where we're in trouble. Our safeties just aren't great at taking those angles. They make great plays at times. Jeff Heath, I don't know where he comes from, what planet he's on, but he will disappear and not show up. But when we have a game-winning play, seems like Jeff Heath is always there to make the tackle. He's always there. He makes the right angle. I don't know what it is at the end of the game. Jeff Heath is he's been our savior a couple times. Really good play with the tight end there, Ertz, keeping them from getting the first down, and he's done it quite a few times. The play with Carr last year against Oakland, it really turned that game around. So a lot of respect to Jeff Heath and our defense. Leighton Vander Esch, NFL Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations to him. The guy is balling out, man. Really, I don't think anyone expected this draft pick to turn out the way it did. A guy coming from 8-man football up in Idaho, playing for Boise State, a standout there, but just some concerns has come in. Man, and I can't wait to see what he's going to look like after a year of being in an off-season NFL program with training and the right diet and the way they're going to feed the dude. The dude's got money now. That makes a big difference when you got money and you can eat right and live right and stay healthy and get a massage and do acupuncture or whatever the things you like to do. Go to yoga classes, stretch. I mean, when you get into a professional program, you accelerate from the college level tremendously, and we can see that with Jalen Smith. And I'm not just talking about his leg injury. I'm talking about completely. Jalen Smith's body looks completely different from the waist up. His arms, his shoulders, even his cheekbones. That dude is jacked. And Leighton Vander Esch is going to put on some weight. He'll hopefully keep the speed that he has, even being longer than Jalen Smith or taller. He's going to put on some really good muscle this offseason. So I really expect these guys to be the future of our linebacking core. Not Jalen Smith, excuse me. Leighton Vander Esch is leading our team in tackles with only 4 starts. Now, he's been in the rotation, of course, quite a bit when he didn't start, but being a starter with Sean Lee out, his play has just elevated, and since from week 2, week 3 to now, he's even a more complete, much better, quicker. The time in the film room he's gotten with Sean Lee and Jalen Smith, those guys are complete bookworms, man. They can break a play down like nobody's business. One thing I want to step into, we are looking at this coaching thing. There's a lot of things being thrown around. I don't know if anything will happen this year. I think things are being looked at. If we lose this week, especially if it's an embarrassing loss or there's mistakes made or the play calling goes downhill again, or there's clock management issues like we almost had in this game with that horrific last possession we had with 3 garbage plays ran, that really there was no way we even attempted to get a first down. It was just hand it to Zeke and let him run kind of toward the sideline and kind of go down. It was almost like a delayed victory stand, kneeling formation. I didn't like it at all. So that I'm sure when we thought we had the game in control, and Jerry Jones is sitting up high in the booth and he's looking down, we got this game in control, and I'm sure he's looking down going, what are they doing? They're not even trying to get a first down, and then we have to punt the ball and give them almost a minute to score. I mean, that's a team, that at any second has the athletic ability and the players to catch fire and put a touchdown down in 20, 30 seconds, So I have no clue what that was, and I'm sure it pissed Jerry off. I'm sure it just pissed Stephen Jones. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. But anyways, moving forward, we won the game. We've got to prepare for this week. We've got to have better clock management. We've got to have the coaches make the right calls. I was really proud of them during the game, and then for them to, jack it all up with that crap they did on the last drive really pissed me off. So we'll see. My hopes, I just thought about this yesterday. Jason Witten is not doing too well in the booth. He just doesn't look comfortable. Everything looks forced. As we were discussing in a chat box last night during the live feed. Everything looks forced. It's just not natural for him. I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are enjoying his commentary. So I'm hoping what will happen is he'll get released by the network, and he could come in as an offensive coordinator, possibly the future. I think he would be a much more exactly kind of what we need. He would be that puppet that Jerry Jones needed, but I think Jerry Jones respects Witten enough. If he came in as the offensive coordinator and possibly the future head coach, I think he would hold it down pretty solid, much better than Jason Garrett is. And if you guys aren't aware, the tight end and the center are usually your most, I guess you have to be most familiar with the playbook and really quick-witted, and you have to organize blocking schemes while you're at the line, and you got to make decisions on which end or linebacker you're going to block. So the center and the tight end are really two positions where that's where you have your line coaches, and that's where you get your head coaches from, your offensive coordinators and stuff like that, your quarterbacks, your tight ends, and your centers. So that's a perception of me I hadn't thought of before, or a future perception for the team that I haven't thought of before until yesterday, and I don't know where it came from. I think I was watching the game and just didn't care for Jason Witten's talking, and wanted him out of the booth. I said, hey, thought about it. Come down on the sideline and take Linehan's spot. I think he would do a much better job. Give him some time to get things together. And I know he knows what Dak needs, and that's the problem with the coaching staff. They're not giving Dak what he needs as far as the play calling, and I think they're trying to coach him to do things that, at times he feels more comfortable doing other things. He needs to be able to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, but maybe not as much as they're forcing him to. They need to change it up a little bit, let him run the ball more, definitely. Force him to run. He's a big, thick, solid guy. He's not going to get injured easily. We've seen him take some hits, and we've seen him get up and walk away from them. So I'm comfortable with that. But this is what we got, guys. We got Atlanta tomorrow. We're hoping the Houston Texans beat Washington. That'll send us into Washington, or into the game with Washington. Hoping if we get a win there, I think that puts us back in the lead of the division. So that's what we're looking at. We got a 2-week plan. Make it short. Have a 1-week plan right now. We got to beat Atlanta. That's the first focus. But I think that we got a very good opportunity to do that with what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing on paper, and what I'm seeing on paper with Atlanta and this game that they had here. So I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the page. Like the video. That shoots it to the top of the search engine. And also enjoy the channel and subscribe to the channel. And hit me up with some comments. Anything you guys want to hear, future content. That's what it's there for. And we'll get the videos done. And we'll see you live on the game Sunday afternoon. Sunday night here. Peace.